Alright, so let's go pick up this parcel. Hello there. We have some exciting stuff to talk about today, obviously. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and today we're gonna talk all about the Hermès Evelyne bag. We're both gonna do a little sneaky unboxing. As you may have just seen, I just went to pick up an Hermès Evelyne that I've ordered via Vestiaire Collective, or I've not ordered it actually, my mom has ordered it. But she ordered it to my address because she said that obviously I'm the handbag addict of this family, so she wanted me to have a look at it first. So we have the pleasure of unboxing this Hermès Evelyne today, which I'm very excited about. And obviously, if you're a subscriber to my channel, you would know that back in February, I bought an Hermès Evelyne in a green color. I bought it for my birthday. And since I bought my Hermès Evelyne in this green color 6 months ago, I mean, you've seen it on my channel before, both worn in outfits, but also in my first impression video, I thought it's time to give you an update, talk all about it in a review style format. And as you know, on my channel I review my bags in 5 sections. So an overview of the bag, wearability, what fits inside, how I bought the bag, pros and cons, and then I round all that up at the end for a summary to let you know who I would recommend this bag to. But guys, without further rambling, I think we should start with the unboxing, because personally I cannot wait any longer. So here we go. We had it shipped via Vestiaire Collective as well to authenticate the bag.
Okay, this is so exciting. Okay, so we have some tissue paper. Let's put that right there.
Ah! The actual bag. But here we go. Here we have the dust bag. It's obviously the new style of dust bag. It has the little Vestiaire Collective tag on it for the authenticity. And without further ado, let's just see what we have in here. Ah! Oh my gosh. This bag is so pretty. The seller said that she had worn it twice and that it's in completely new condition. And in here we have, oh my gosh, this leather is so soft. It's even softer than my green one actually. I mean, I am so impressed. Like literally. I'm kind of jealous now actually. Mom, do you really need this bag? Can I borrow it from you? I don't see any signs of use actually. This is nice. And here we have the strap. Let's see. Here we have the little Hermès Paris, made in France, little text, leather thingy added, and obviously the strap is in canvas, right? Because that's how it usually goes on Hermès Evelynes. This is nice. So here we have it, the little Hermès Evelyne in black, obviously, or noir as Hermès calls it, and in Clemence leather and in the PM size. That's awesome. I'm so happy about this. Okay, let's get right into the review, shall we? Let me show you the bag we're reviewing today, actually. So we're reviewing my Hermès Evelyne. This is the one I bought in February, and I've had it now for, like I said, basically 6 months, right? I mean, for the sake of excitement, let's just use the Hermès Evelyne that my mom just got for the overview. We are talking about obviously an Hermès Evelyne in the size PM. Both my bag and my mom's bag are in the size PM. This one is obviously in black, so the noir color. The bag has like no frills, no like feet on the bottom or anything like that. It's basically just a piece of leather sewn together in the form of a bag, right? The only frills one would say that this bag has is obviously the perforated H. Like I said in my first impressions, I mean, initially when I saw this bag, I was not that big of a fan of the perforated H. Just because, I mean, for me aesthetically, it doesn't do much. I mean, in terms of like wow factor, I way prefer having the actual like front of the bag to the front, if you get what I'm saying. With the risk of repeating myself a little bit, because I spoke about this in my first impression, the history of the Hermès Evelyne would say that this this bag was initially designed for people taking care of horses, right? Because when you have a horse, you basically groom it a lot, right, on a daily basis. When you groom your horse, you obviously need an Hermès bag, right, to keep the grooming equipment for your horses. And what Hermès did was that they made this bag with the perforated H to let the air flow through the bag. So basically, you could put in your horse grooming equipment and let it dry within the bag because you had this nice airflow from the H in a perforated form, right? So that's what the history says about this bag and why it was designed. Obviously, I wouldn't really use my bags for horse grooming equipment because I'm not really keen on having a 3,500 euro or whatever bag as an equestrian type thing to have in the stables. But I guess what this tells us is that the perforated H has some history, it has significance, and basically it could work for that horse girl, like equestrian style that people in the fashion world talk about right now, right? So do with that what you will. If you want to use this bag in the stables, go ahead, you do you, boo. Otherwise, for the overview, like I said, we have this popper right here, and then this is the actual front of the bag, and the perforated H side is actually the back of the bag if we look design wise. I usually wear the front to the front, but I know a lot of people prefer to have the perforated H to the front. Essentially, we have this front pocket, which is basically like a small pocket. I usually don't keep a lot in here, possibly like my phone or like small items, but I mean the main compartment is this big black hole. I mean there's not a lot going on in there, so it's just like the back of the leather, so it's not lined. So basically you have this like suede-like texture on the inside, and you have this pebbled Clemence leather on the outside. On the perforated H side of the bag, you also have this Hermès Paris made in France typing or embossing, I should say. And like I said, the little flappy thingy that actually closes the bag with a popper. The strap, like I already alluded to, is in canvas towards the palladium hardware. You have these leather tabs. On one of them, you have the Hermès Paris made in France embossing there as well. And the strap is adjustable, so you can make it longer or shorter or whatever your heart desires. So I would say that's the overview of the bag done. Let's maybe just have a quick look on my Hermès Evelyne. So obviously I also have the PM size, so the 29 centimeter across size, and mine is in this green shade with the contrasting light green shoulder strap. Otherwise, the bag works exactly the same as my mom's black Evelyne bag that she just got. So now with that overview out of the way, wait, that's not cute. Let's fix this shirt a little bit. Okay, so wearability. I think these bags are very wearable, to be honest. When I bought my Hermès Evelyne in this green color, right, I bought it because I felt like I had a gap in my handbag collection. And what I felt was lacking was basically a casual looking messenger or like crossbody bag. And I think I said this in my first impressions as well, but I mean, obviously this is an aggressively priced messenger style bag, but I'm the type of person that, I mean, if I'm gonna buy something, I want to buy the best in that category that I can afford, and that's in my budget. So I went for this one. And for that kind of casual outing type daytime activity, I feel like this bag is very, very wearable. What I would say though is I don't really find this wearable for evening occasions or like nighttime, like dressed up occasions. Obviously, if you're going to like a casual dinner or like a casual outing at nighttime, I mean, this bag is just fine. It works perfectly. But for those like dressier occasions, I would not really gravitate towards this bag. That might also be because of the colorway, because I don't really find this, what did I call it? Spring onion green strap very like evening appropriate. Possibly with my mom's Evelyne, I mean, since this is in a black color, maybe it could pass for an evening bag as well. But if you're going to a you're going to a super fancy restaurant, then I'm not sure this would be the bag I would gravitate towards, you know? But nonetheless, for the occasions I bought this bag for, which is basically like casual daytime stuff, then I mean this green bag works perfectly. I must say also that I found this green color to be surprisingly wearable actually. When I initially bought it, I really wanted a green bag, but I was also a little bit concerned of, I mean, will I be able to like style this green bag in a way that I feel comfortable with? Because I wear quite neutral colors, right? I think this bag goes very well with most of the colors I have in my wardrobe. I think that blue and green, for example, is a great color combination. I spoke about that in my video about how I style colorful pieces or something like that. Because I mean, obviously blue and green are adjacent colors in the color wheel and those usually work well together. And blue is one of those like few colors that I actually wear. So for me, the green color has been very easy to match. It's been working out better than I expected actually, so I'm very happy about that. Otherwise, in terms of wearability, I have no complaints apart from it not really suiting that evening occasion. But I mean, like I said in my first impression video as well, I have quite a few like evening appropriate bags anyway, right? And I would probably gravitate towards those anyway for evening occasions before I would go for like a messenger style bag. In terms of wearability, for me, it's like a 9 out of 10. Like that evening occasion stuff maybe brings it down a little bit because obviously if you're traveling, if you only have space for one bag, then this might not be the bag that's the most wearable. But with all of that wearability rant out of the way, let's talk about what fits in this bag. Because honestly, I was quite surprised when I started using this bag that it fits a surprising amount actually. My intention was to wear it like on a day-to-day basis, like running errands, doing stuff on the weekends, you know? Just like an easy throw on, kind of good to go always type bag. So basically all my essentials fit no problem. Also, if I need to bring camera stuff, it fits it like with no issue. I've also discovered that this bag works great for traveling, which is what I want to show you actually. Because my MacBook Pro and like my toiletries that I usually have in like a bigger bag or in my suitcase or whatever, and that I need to put on that little conveyor belt like through security, those things fits in this one. So I can just bring my luggage, like my Remova classic cabin luggage, put my computery stuff, my toiletries in there, and then just right before I go through security, I can just take that out, put it in my little Hermès Evelyne, and then sail through security very, very smoothly because I just whip it out of this little bag, throw it on the conveyor belt, it goes through security, and I'm all good, you know? So for the sake of this demonstration, we have my MacBook Pro 13-inch. This one is really old actually, so if you have a newer one, I'm sure it would be slimmer, it would be sleeker, it would be lighter, but I bought this one basically, I think like 2013 or whatever, so it's really old. Instead of toiletries, we're using this little makeup pouch instead for just demonstration purposes. So we grab the Hermès Evelyne. This is a great tutorial. I'm sure you're riveted by this content. We take the Hermès Evelyne, we put the little MacBook Pro in there, we take our toiletries, we plop them in there as well, and then obviously we just plop our little phones and passports in this front pocket, and then we're ready to go. And what I usually do, since it doesn't close now, is just put that one inside the bag so that it doesn't flop about, and it fits perfectly. Look at that. And then I just fling this across my shoulder and walk through security. It's literally the perfect travel bag. Are you impressed? I mean, especially for this being the PM size as well, which is like the smaller size. So you have the GM size as well. This one is 29 centimeters across. The GM size is 33 centimeters across. So you have a little bit more room and it's a little bit taller as well, right? But for being this small size, I mean, I don't really mind that my computer is sticking out just for going through security, right? So I think that's really neat, and I've used this a lot actually for traveling. Otherwise, for just a normal day out, let's just see what fits. So I thought we'll leave the little or quite big cosmetic pouch in there actually, because I mean, we might need a cosmetic pouch. Then we're plopping in my two phones. We have the iPhone 13 Pro, the iPhone 11 Pro. Just pop it in there, no problem. They lay flat right there. Then we have my little power bank pouch. This is just like a Jimmy Choo cosmetic pouch from like 100 years ago. Plop that in on top of the phones. Then we have my little camera case, which usually holds my Canon G7X Mark III. Plop that on top of the cosmetic pouch. Then my little favorite SLG, my Louis Vuitton key and card holder, which is where I keep both my keys and cards basically. Major key alert if you don't have a little SLG like this. And that one I like to plop right in this little mini pocket right here so that it stays like on top and separate from the other stuff. And then obviously with all that in there, we just close up the bag. Now it holds quite a lot, so it's a little bit heavy, but I mean, you fit that in there no problem. If you're weird about your Hermès Evelyne with the perforated H showing like the colors of your stuff inside, then possibly get one of those bag inserts or just keep like a little dust bag which you can like host all of your stuff in. But I mean, if you ask me, for such a like small and like inconspicuous bag, I think this holds quite a lot and the capacity is very, very good in my opinion. So for a complete like full day out with sightseeing, you need your camera, you need your power bank, you need maybe a little water bottle. I'm sure you could fit it in here as well. All of your 100 phones and like, you know, everything fits. It's perfect. And obviously the major key alert as well. I'm gonna stop saying major key alert. That is so stale. But also like that hack of just having this as a travel bag as well. Like fitting the computer and the toiletries and stuff like that for going through security. You heard it here first. It's great. I would highly recommend. And yeah, that's what fits in the Hermès Evelyne in the PM size. Let's move on to how I bought this bag. So I bought both of these Hermès Evelynes actually from Vestiaire Collective. Let's have a chat about this green one first, because if you're a seasoned subscriber or a Siedler aesthetic family member, then you would know that this bag I included in both a first impressions and in a haul video. But anyway, like I said, I bought this on Vestiaire Collective. I bought it pre-loved, obviously. I sold it? Wait. I got the authenticity verified through Vestiaire Collective, and I always do that because obviously when you're buying a bag for like 1,200 euros and the authentication fee is like 15 euros, I feel like it's more than worth that price to actually get it authenticated. And also you get that little tab, right, saying that it's authentic. So if you would want to sell it later on, then you could show that you've had it authenticated as well, which I think is a good thing. Because we don't want to support people potentially selling fake stuff. We want to be able to authenticate that it's very real and that it's very authentic. But anyhow, I think last time I checked, these bags retailed for 3,475 euros. Essentially, that's the last price quote I heard for Hermès Evelynes in the size PM from Hermès. And obviously mine is in a more niche color and it was a little bit more worn than my mom's one. So mine had a little bit of a lower price tag than my mom's. Let's just talk about her bag for a moment. Because like I said, and like this little Vestiaire Collective tag would allude to, we bought this bag on Vestiaire Collective. It's obviously in a black color. Black bags usually retail for more than niche colored bags, which I think makes sense because more people may resonate with having a black bag. The seller said it has been worn twice. I think that checks out considering how great condition this one is in. I literally don't see any signs of wear on this bag, which is great. And we got this one for 1,590 euros. So that's how me and my mom bought our Hermès Evelynes. That's a catchy title. So now when we know how I bought the Hermès Evelynes or how we bought our Hermès Evelynes, let's talk about the pros and cons for this bag. And to be honest, I have more pros than cons, but let's start with the cons to just get it out of the way. But obviously one con, as I already alluded to, is that I wouldn't really gravitate towards this bag for evening occasions. I think it's more of a like casual, like crossbody, just fling it over your shoulder, go run your errands type bag. Another con I think is, I mean, you can pack a lot of stuff in here, so it can get very heavy. That's not really a fault of the bag, that's a fault of us having the space to pack stuff in. But I mean, the bag is all leather, so it's pretty like heavy on its own, but I wouldn't say it's more heavy than like anything else. I mean, I have the Prada here and this tiny bag is heavier than the Hermès Evelyne. I would say the weight of the Chanel Jumbo is actually heavier than the Hermès Evelyne as well, so if you have those bags to compare it with, there you have a little comparison. But I mean, it's an all leather bag, so don't expect it to weigh like 100 grams because it won't. If you cannot handle heavy bags at all, then definitely don't buy the Prada here because that's just an all leather and like so much metal, so that will be heavy for you. But I would say if you're super sensitive to heavy bags, then maybe go in and have a feel of this one in the Hermès store before you buy it, because it can feel a little bit heavy because it's all leather, right? But for me, the weight of this bag has never been an issue. And the last con of this bag actually, which has not really been a con for me, but if you're a person that's shorter than I am, I mean, as you can see, I keep my strap at the shortest possible setting, right? I'm 170 centimeters tall, or 171 centimeters actually, which is like 5'6" if you're from the US. On the shortest setting, it hangs perfectly on me, but obviously if you're shorter than me, then it might hang pretty low. I've seen some girlies on YouTube basically show how you can double up the strap in order to make the strap shorter, but then I think it tends to be very, very short, so maybe look that up if you're interested. But I don't have such a video to show you because for me, I think this one sits perfectly as a crossbody bag on me. Obviously, if I would wear it like just over my shoulder, it hangs kind of low, but I don't really like having any bags just on my shoulder like this, unless it's like a Chanel classic flap with like 2 straps and stuff like that, because then it feels a little bit more secure. But this one I always carry crossbody, and for me, the strap length works perfectly. But if you're shorter, then it might be a little bit long on you actually. I mean, my mom is shorter than me and she's like, I think 164 centimeters, so not a huge difference, but essentially she's a little bit more busty than me, so for her this bag still hangs at quite a comfy length, because obviously then takes up a little bit more space lengthwise if you're a little bit more busty, and then the bag hangs a little bit higher anyway even if you're shorter, so maybe keep that in mind. But for me, the strap length has not been an issue, but if you're shorter, it might. So with the cons out of the way, let's talk about the pros. The first pro is basically that I mean, this bag suited perfectly for the wear that I thought I would use it for, which is always a pro when something works out in the way you planned it, right? If you like planning as well and to-do lists and stuff, you know the feeling of something working out in the way you thought and the way you planned it. The best feeling, right? Otherwise, I think this goes very well with my personal aesthetic, which usually leans kind of casual, classic, timeless, kind of like grandma aesthetic, I don't know. But basically just like casual, basic type clothing is my arena. And this bag, I think, suits that mood perfectly. I also really like that if you wear the actual front to the front, then you don't have a logo and it's not like noticeably a designer bag. And I really appreciate that about this bag actually. I've kind of steered away from logos for a while. I mean, I usually wear my Hermès Click H bracelets. If you want to know more about those, I made a little like review and like chat all about the Hermès Click H bracelets, but this is basically the only logo I wear like on a day-to-day basis, right? Or if I wear a designer bag, then obviously that as well. But with this bag, I'm obviously not pushed to show any logo, right? Which I do appreciate, because sometimes it's nice to have like a little bit more of a like low-key aesthetic on your bag. But yeah, I think this bag is just very chic, very timeless. I never see myself parting with this bag actually, because I think this one will actually age with grace, and it will be one of those that will never feel out of style because it's never really in style, you know? It just peruses the fashion scene in all seasons and all years without being offensive or like high fashion, you know? It's just here and it's just floating and people just appreciate it. So yeah, I feel like it's a good kind of investment bag, even though you don't really hold the value of what you buy it for in the store. But obviously if you buy it secondhand, then you can usually score yourself a deal, especially if you're interested in more of like a niche or a seasonal color. Another pro is that I think Hermès does color really, really well. I think it's the fashion house that has like the most well thought out and well like designed colorways actually. That's another thing I appreciate about this bag in particular, the color, because obviously, like I said, I'm a pretty like neutral queen, so I like having some color to like interject in my wardrobe through my handbag. So yeah, I think those were all of the pros and cons I can think of right now. In terms of rounding this all up, like I said, it's a wearable bag, especially for daytime. Obviously, if you're looking for a nighttime bag, then this might not be the bag for you unless you think this suits nighttime occasions. I personally am not super convinced that it does, but if you think so, you do you, and you do whatever your heart desires. And I would recommend this bag to someone like me. You probably have a little bit of a collection already. You want to have one of those super casual, like day-to-day running errands bags. Maybe you want that kind of travel chic aesthetic. I think this bag does that very, very well. Obviously, my mom just bought this bag. She has a few like evening occasion bags that are like pretty small and stuff like that. And then she has like big bags that are like totes and like for everyday wear. But she doesn't have anything in between, similarly to what I had before I bought this bag, right? So she also wanted something that she could wear for like day-to-day stuff and that she could wear very casually, very laid back, very low-key. And she doesn't have a huge bag collection, right? So she just wanted something casual and low-key to fit in between those uses, and I think that's what I would recommend this bag for, actually. Just something casual, something in between, something low-key. Obviously, if you're hugely into logo mania logos, this might not be the bag for you unless you feel like this perforated H suffices as a logo. But like I said, this is originally the back side of the bag, right? So if we wear the front to the front, we don't have logos, and I'm very happy about that, actually. So if you also appreciate a very low-key bag, would highly recommend the Hermès Evelyne. And obviously, I don't have a Hermès Evelyne GM to compare it to. I would love to have an Hermès Evelyne GM. I've said this before, I sound like a broken record at this point, but I would love to have an Hermès Evelyne in the size GM, in Etoupe, in Clemence leather with the white contrasting stitching. I think that bag is so pretty. It literally lives rent-free in my mind. I wish it could live like rent-free here on my little rack of bags and stuff, but not yet. Patience is a virtue. When I find one on Vestiaire Collective at a good deal, I might swoop in and get it, but not now. I bought this Hermès Evelyne just 6 months ago, so I'm gonna chill for a moment. But guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little review, unboxing moment that we had together. And if you have some more time to spend with me today, I will link 2 videos right here which YouTube thinks you would like. And thank you so much for watching this video and spending this time with me. Until next time, I hope you'll stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Bye!